Om Shri Ganeshaye Namah. Om Shri Saraswatye Namah. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव शंभो शंकर श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। विवेक चूड़ामणि मंगलाचरण श्लोक सर्ववेदांत सिद्धांता गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। When disciple asked Guru Maharaj, what is the self and what is the not self, what is the liberation, what is the bondage, how to discriminate between Atma and Anatma, how to come out from the bondage, to answer all these questions, Guru Maharaj he started first with Anatma, the topic of not self. When disciple will understand what is the Anatma, then he can realize what is the self. So we have discussed what is the not self, about the gross body and subtle body, what are the functions of gross and subtle bodies also we have discussed, and gross and subtle body made up of 5 elements, Panchikarana and without Panchikarana, before Panchikarana, and we have seen the subtle body also is called as Linga Shariram. In the next sloka, we have seen up to sloka number 100. In the next sloka, 101, it is said, whatever the activities and functions are there of the gross and subtle bodies, these are only belonging to them, but not to the self. Because of our wrong identification with gross and subtle bodies, we are thinking all those things are there in the Atma Swarupa self. But in fact, Atma is Sakshi Swarupa, witnessing everything, illuminating everything, but not at all connected or attached to anything. Uncontaminated, Asanga Swarupa, completely detached from them. Please repeat after me, sloka number 101. अन्धत्वमन्धत्वपटुत्वधर्माः अन्धत्वमन्धत्वपटुत्वधर्माः सौगुण्यवैगुण्यवशाद्धिचक्षुषः सौगुण्यवैगुण्यवशाद्धिचक्षुषः वादेर्यमूकत्वमुखास्तथैव वादेर्यमूकत्वमुखास्तथैव श्रोत्रादिधर्मा न तु वेत्तुरात्मनः श्रोत्रादिधर्मा न तु वेत्तुरात्मनः अन्धत्वा मन्दत्वा पटुत्वा धर्माः अन्धत्वा means blindness. Andhatva, unable to see. Even though the sockets of eyes will be there, but the power of seeing will not be there. Andhatva, blindness. Mandatva, mandatva means weakness. Manda means dull, weakness, mandatva. Patutva, patutva means keenness. We say a keen observation like that. Keenness or sharpness to see. Dharmaha, all these qualities. Dharmaha, conditions or qualities. Saugunya Vaigunya Vashathi Chekshushaha. Saugunya means Guna Sahita. Means fitness. Saugunya, having in good condition. Vaigunya means defective in nature. So defectiveness. Saugunya and Vaigunya. Vashathi. Vashat means as per, because of the fitness and dullness of he, indeed, of what? Chekshushaha. Chekshu means eye. Chekshushaha means of eyes, plural, Bahuvachana. All of us, we know this. We are experiencing also, few of us. Seeing properly, unable to see completely, few people. And few people will be having a short sight or long sight, and some people will be having a cataract. When we are having cataract, we cannot see properly. So when it is removed, again we can see properly. So seeing properly and not able to see properly, all these things are fitness of the eyes or dullness of the eyes. All these things are only the dharmas of eyes, but not the dharmas of Atma Swarupa. We say, I can see properly, I can't see properly. But here when we are using the word I, but it's not connected to the Atma Swarupa. Seeing or not seeing properly, those things are connected to only these organs, but not to the self. And not only this one, next one you can see. Badirya mukatva mukhas tathaiva. Tatha eva, in the same way, explaining about all other organs also and their dharmas, qualities. Badirya. Badirya means deafness, unable to hear or can't hear properly. Badirya. Mukatva. Mukatva, muteness, can't speak. Badirya mukatva mukhaha tatha eva. Here mukhaha means etc. So deafness connected to ears. Muteness connected to the organ of speech. blindness, etc., or keenness, etc., connected to the eyes. All these things are the qualities, the dharmas, or defects of the organs. Few people they can speak very well. Few people unable to speak. Few people they can hear even small sounds also. Other people, even though it's big sound is there, but they can't hear properly. So all these things are connected to the dharmas of the organs, but not to the self. Srotra adi dharmaha. See the last line. Srotra means ears. Srotra adi, etc. Earlier also we have seen when in one group one word is used, we have to take entire the list. So these are the dharmas of our organs of perception and organs of action. Srotradi dharmaha. Dharmaha means conditions. These are the conditions of ears, etc. Na tu. Tu means but not. Na means no or not. But not vetu hu atmanaha. Vetur atmanaha is there, no? Vetu hu. Of the all-knower. Who is the all-knower here? Self, Atma. Atmanaha, of the self. These are the dharmas of organs of perception and organs of action, but not of the Atma self. Here, Vetuhu means of the all-knower. So, self is illuminating all these things, but self is not at all touched by all these defects or fitness of the organs. But generally what we will be thinking, we are so much identified with these organs, this gross body. We will be saying, I can hear properly, I can't hear properly, I can see properly, I cannot see properly. So nowadays, I don't know what is happening to my organs. I don't know, because of age factor or something, these are not functioning well. It's like that. But all the time we are connecting all these things, I. So here it is said, when we are saying I, this is not the self, the individual being, the reflected consciousness. In the next sloka we are going to discuss that point. The individual self, that jiva is identifying with gross body and saying, these are the my dharmas. But in fact, all these things are connected to the only gross body and subtle body, other points. So, why we are discussing this one? Because we want to discriminate between self and not self. In the state of ignorance, we are thinking we are this gross body, subtle body, etc. So, Guru Maharaj is saying that thou art, you are that self, that which is illuminating all these things, that which is witnessing all the functions of these sense organs, that it is completely different from all these things, that is you, but not what you are thinking, this gross body, this sense organs, etc. So one more point we have to understand. When our sense organs are not functioning well, we should not feel so bad or we should not become sorrowful. We have to understand these are the dharmas of the sense organs. And all the time the sense organs will not be 100% perfect. There will be imperfections. And when we are growing old, we have to understand all these things will be losing slowly their capacities to function. And not only that, because of some other reasons also, when we are in young age also, few defects may be there. So whether there is defect or whether it is functioning very well, we have to understand these are the only dharmas of sense organs. Next sloka also we will see, then we will discuss what is completely Atma Swarupa and Anatma Swarupa. That which is Anatma Swarupa is different from the self. In the next sloka, it is going to be expounded about prana dharmas and the functions of pranas. The kriyas of pranas and dharmas of pranas are expounded in the next sloka. And again, we have to understand all these things are only prana dharmas. They will be there in the pranas, but not in the self, Atma Swarupa. उच्छ्वास निश्वास विजृंभण क्षुत उच्छ्वास निश्वास विजृंभण क्षुत प्रस्यन्दनाद्योत्क्रमणादिकाः क्रियाः प्रस्यन्दनाद्योत्क्रमणादिकाः क्रियाः प्राणादिकर्माणि वदन्ति तज्ज्ञाः प्राणादिकर्माणि वदन्ति तज्ज्ञाः प्राणस्य धर्मावशनापिपासि प्राणस्य धर्मावशनापिपासि उच्छ्वास nishvasa. Uchvasa means inhalation, breathing in. Nishvasa, exhalation, breathing out. Vijrumbana, we know very well this one. Vijrumbana means yawning. Are you feeling now? Are you feeling sleepy? No, na? Okay. I don't show also because when you see, you also feel, okay, sleepy, like that. You might have heard na, that story of when I say this Vijrumbana, I remembered Hanumanji's story. Anyway, we will narrate that story, then we will continue the word meaning of this sloka. After what you call killing that Ravana, Ramchandra ji along with Sita Mata, Lakshman ji, all of them, they have reached Ayodhya. And all of us, we know all the time Sita Mata, Lakshman ji, Bharat ji, Shatrughan ji, and all of them also, they wanted to serve Ramchandra ji. But what happened, Hanuman ji, he is not giving even single opportunity or single chance to serve Ramchandra ji. After coming back from that Vanavasa, when they reached Ayodhya, each and everything has been taken care by Hanumanji. Whatever is required for Ramchandra ji, he used to offer he used to serve a lot. Even before asking, he used to keep everything ready. And one day, Sita Mata, Lakshman ji and Bharat ji, all of them, they had one group discussion. They called for meeting, and I'm narrating in different way, you can understand. So all of them, what they thought, no, for a few days, all of us also, we are seeing, we are not getting chance at all to serve our Prabhu Ramchandra ji. This Hanuman ji, he's not giving chance at all. So what we can do, we will call that Hanuman ji and we will tell him. So all of us, we will divide whatever service is required for Ramchandra ji. We will divide that work and we will take care of that one. And we will say, Hanumanji, it's for long period of time you're alone is serving, so you can take rest. We will do everything like that. So all of them, they had that meeting and they discussed and they called Hanumanji and they said, they told him is you might have tired because for long period of time you're serving Ramchandra ji. That time Even when Ramchandraji was in forest also, you have served a lot. So now you can take rest. All of us now we are around him only in Ayodhya. So all facilities are there. So whatever is required for Ramchandraji, we also will serve. We will take care of him. So you can take rest. Then Hanumanji, we know he is Dasa Bhakta. He always wanted to serve Bhagwan. So he thought, okay, he understood also. So all of them, they wanted to keep me away from Bhagwan. So he felt inside it's impossible for him. He cannot, he cannot live without serving Ramchandraji. So with folded hands, with a lot of humility, he said, see, what all of you are asking is okay. What all of you are saying, your order, I will obey. But at least one work you can give, so that I will be serving Ramchandraji. Without seeing him, without being near him, I cannot survive. It's like that. So they thought, if we give any work, Hanumanji again he will start doing other things also. Then they said, you can do one thing. Whenever Ramchandraji is yawning, that time, I don't know what you call it's exactly as making sound with the fingers. So you can do that one. Reminding everything, we will take care. Then Hanumanji said, okay, at least you have given something, little bit service. Okay, I'm very happy, he said. And that time onwards, what happened? Earlier, only when Ramchandraji he required some object or some seva, that time only Hanumanji he used to go to near to Ramchandraji and he used to offer everything serving Ramchandraji like that. And when he was in the what you call that palace Antapura, so he used to come out like that. But now what happened when he has taken up this job all the time? He was with Ramchandraji only, and he was not leaving at all. Wherever he was going, he's also is following like that, and even night time also he is not moving from that place. Wherever Ramchandraji was there, he was there. Even in what you call that Sabha also, when that discussion is going on with so many ministers and all this, it's all the time he was there. And what happened? Sita Mata, Hanumanji, all of them, it's earlier better. Only service time he used to come now all the time. And they asked also, so why all the time you were there only? So you can go and take rest. No? He said, when Ramchandraji is going to yawn, I don't know. So whenever he is yawning, I should be there now to do that seva. So he said like that. Then all of them, they understood. It's better. We can leave all these things and we can tell Hanumanji, let him continue his service. Otherwise, no privacy even for Sita Mata also to sit with Ramchandraji and to speak. This is Seva. No, suddenly I remembered because of that Vijrumbana yawning. This is Prana Dharma. We cannot say when exactly we will like that. When we feel sleepy or when we are tired, it's like that. So here, anyway, we remembered Bhagwan Ramchandraji and Hanumanji. बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय. So we don't know sometimes which thought will come and mind will be connected to that. So here, Uchvasa, Nisvasa, Vijrumbana, Yani, inhalation, exhalation, Yani. Let us continue that word meaning. Kshut, next word is Kshut. What is the meaning of Kshut? Kshut means sneezing. This is also variety kind of thing. Different people will be sneezing in different ways. Very difficult to control also, sneezing. This is also prana dharma. Next word in your book, praspandana is there or prasyandana is there? Praspandana means only trembling like that, but prasyandana is correct word. Prasyandana. Okay. Prasyandana means secretion or oozing out. See, from our eyes and ears, that dirt will be coming out, na? That one. That is called prasyandana. From our nose, all these things are prana dharmas only. It's running nose like that. Prasyandana. Prasyandana utkramanadikaha. Utkramana means it's leaving or departing, means death only. At the time of death, what will happen? That the prana will leave this gross body. Utkramanadikaha, plural. Adikaha means etc. All these things are kriyaha. Kriyaha means functions. These are the functions of pranas. Pranadi karmani vadanti tajñaha. Pranadi, prana, etc. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. Earlier we have seen pancha pranas are there. Karmani, these are the functions of pranas. Vadanti, they say, who? Tajñaha. Tat means that. That means the self. Jnaha means the knowers. The knowers of the self. The knowers of the self means the knowers of the self and the knowers of the what is not self also. Means earlier those who have done this discrimination between self and not self, and those who have understood what are the functions of these pranas and about the gross body, subtle body, causal body. Those who have understood all these things, tajñaha means wise people, the knowers of the self, vadanti, they say. Pranasya dharma, next one. What they say? They are saying these are the functions of pranas and these are the dharmas of pranas. Earlier we have seen what are the functions of pranas. In the next line, last line you can see. Pranasya षष्ठी vibhakti of the pranas. Dharmaha. Dharmaha, natures. Nature are qualities. Dharma, vashana, pipase word is there, na? Here we have to take dharmau plus ashana, pipase. These are the two. That's why dharmau it is said. Dvitiya vibhakti. Not Dvitiya vibhakti, dvivachana. Ekavachana, dvivachana, bahuvachana. Okay, singular, dual and plural. So here dharmau, dvivachana, two. What are these? Ashana, pipasa. Ashana means hunger. Pipasa means thirst. Hunger and thirst, these are the dharmas of pranas. Inhalation, exhalation, breathing in, breathing out, yawning, secretion, giving up this body means that last breath. All these things are functions of the pranas. After discussing all these things, what we have to understand, all these things are there only in pranas but not in the self. I am yawning, I am sneezing, I am taking breath. All these things are when we are saying I am, because of the identification with the pranas, we are saying like this. But the pranas are different from the self. So whatever we have discussed till now, gross body, subtle body, means organs of perception, organs of action, and all these pranas, all these things are come under anatma swarupa, that which is not self. Next sloka. Antahkaranametishu Chekshurādishu varshmani अहमित्यभिमानेन अहमित्यभिमानेन तिष्ठत्याभासतेजसा तिष्ठत्याभासतेजसा. This is very important. Antahkaranam eteshu. Antahkarana, the inner instrument. Antahkarana, the inner equipment. Antahkaranam eteshu chakshuradishu varshmani. Chakshuhu adishu means eyes, etc. The inner equipment. Eteshu means in these. Whatever we have, see in these. Chakshuhu adi. Chakshuradishu is there. Chakshuhu adishu, eyes, etc. Varshmani. Varshmani means in the body. This is a new word. Varshmani means in the body. New Sanskrit word for us. Varshmani. In the body. Aham iti. Aham means I. Aham iti. I am. Thus, I am. As I, abhimanena. Here, abhimana means not honor or not arrogance. Here, abhimanena means because of identification. Tadatmyata. Identification. Identifying. Abhimanena. Tishtati. Tishtati means exists. It is existing. That antahkarana. Because of the identification. Abhasa tejasa. This word we have to focus on this one. Abhasa tejasa. With the reflection of consciousness. With the reflection of Atman. What is the complete meaning? This antahkarana, the inner equipment, it has its expression only in the sense organs. So, the existence of antahkarana is depending upon what? The antahkarana itself cannot do anything. It is getting light from the Atma Swarupa and it is illuminating, or we can say it is giving that light, that which is got from the self, to the sense organs. Let us see with one example. There is one dark room. In that dark room, whatever we kept to see that one, we need that light. Outside, that sun is there. When we kept the bucket of water outside of that room, when that reflection of that sun is there in that bucket of water, means the light of sun is reflecting in the bucket of water. Because of that reflection, when it is falling in the dark room, we can see that light. Sometimes when we put that watch also, when the light of sun is falling on that one, we can see that reflection in the water everywhere. But one thing we have to understand, even though the light of means rays of sun falling on each everything on this earth, but we can see the reflection only in few things. Yes. Why? Because that object is having the capacity to reflect that light. So, in the same way, all of us, we are having that antahkarana, inner equipment, that which is having the capacity to reflect that consciousness. Means, when the consciousness is functioning behind that, the light of consciousness is falling in antahkarana, then we can see the reflection of consciousness. I hope you are understanding. Yes? Yes or no? Okay. Simple example. In this one only, Atma is equal to sun. Okay. Bucket is equal to bodies. Few big buckets and few small buckets, a few medium buckets, it's like that, okay? And In the bucket, water is there, no? So that is like our antahkarana. So our antahkarana is like the water in the bucket. Atma, sun. Bucket, body. Okay. Bucket is body. And antahkarana is like water. Please remember this one. This example is very useful to understand what is Jiva Bhava, what is Atma Swarupa, how that reflected consciousness is functioning through this gross body, subtle body, etc. When the sunlight is falling in the water of bucket, then we can see that reflection of sun. Yes, the same way when it comes to Siddhanta principle, the Atma Swarupa is Jyoti Swarupa, consciousness, light in nature. When it is falling in Antahkarana, in our inner equipment, then we can see that reflection of Atma Swarupa in Antahkarana. That is called ego, Abhasa. In other terms, Jiva Bhava. So, this Antahkarana is having existence because of Atma Swarupa. In fact, our mind and intellect, they don't have their own existence because they are made up of 5 elements only, subtle 5 elements. It means they are in fact Jada only. Are you able to follow? Yes? Okay? Simple thing. Now, you are listening, you are seeing and listening. Yes? I am also seeing all of you. How it is happening? Eyes are seeing, ears are listening, we are saying. Okay, but behind them, mind should be there. If mind is not there, even though our eyes open, but we can't see. See, sometimes you might have experienced this one when you were thinking about something and completely engaged in those thoughts only. That time when your friend is walking in front of your eyes, that person might have said, it's namaste. In our terms, Hari Om. Okay? In our language. So he said, Namaskar, Hari Om. And that time your eyes were open, but you did not smile. You did not nod, even nodded your head. As though seeing, but not seeing. Why? Because behind them, that mind, Antahkarana, is not functioning. It's engaged in something else. It means whatever we are listening, even now also, if you are thinking about something, food or some other things, whatever I am saying also, you, even though you are listening, but not, even though you are hearing, but not really listening. It's difficult to understand because behind these sense organs, who is giving that light to see, to hear, to understand? That Antahkarana. And that Antahkarana is reflected consciousness only. Because that Antahkarana itself also cannot function. Behind that one, Atma Swarupa is there. Atma Swarupa is there. The light of Atma Swarupa is falling in that Antahkarana. Because of that one, that Antahkarana, our sense organs are functioning. Understood? Right. In the next sloka, it is said, what is that ahankara? That exactly that jiva bhava. See, all these things are there, but when the identification will be there, then only it is called ego, jiva bhava. Here, ego means it's not what you call worldly kind of arrogance, not like that. Here, it is what you call technical term used in Vedanta. This ego, this jiva bhava, because of identification with anatma. That self, when it identifies with Anatma, it is called Jiva. Tomorrow we will discuss more of it with a few examples. Then we can understand easily. Okay. Right. So today what we have seen, we have discussed this, what you call the qualities of sense organs, fitness or defective in nature, seeing properly or not seeing properly, listening properly or not hearing properly, not unable to speak. All these things are Saugunya, Vaigunya, etc. All these things are the dharmas of eyes and dharmas of ears, etc. And Atma Swarupa is just witnessing all these things, but not at all attached to all these things, are not at all having any these qualities in Atma Swarupa. They are not there in Atma Swarupa. And afterwards we have seen the functions of pranas and dharmas of pranas. The main, this hunger and thirst are the main dharmas of Mukhya Prana. And remaining all other things, functions of the pranas we have seen. But all these things also belonging to the pranas only, but they are not in the self. And just now we have discussed about that Antahkarana, the reflected consciousness. Abhasa. Abhasa means that reflection. Tomorrow we will see about the ego, that Jiva Bhava, and how exactly this Antahkarana is functioning. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Asatoma Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om. ఆత్మ అంటే ఏంటి, అనాత్మ అంటే ఏంటి, మోక్షం, బంధనం, వీటి గురించి తెలుపమని శిష్యుడు అడిగినప్పుడు గురువు గారు ముందుగా అనాత్మ అంటే ఏంటో చెప్తూ ఉన్నారు. స్థూల సూక్ష్మ శరీరాల గురించి బోధించి, ఈ ఇంద్రియాలు కానీ ఇంద్రియ ధర్మాలు, ప్రాణ ధర్మాలు, ఇవన్నీ కూడా వాటి యొక్క క్రియలు, ఇవన్నీ కూడా వాటిలో ఉండేటువంటి గుణము కానీ వాటిలో ఉండేటువంటి దోషము కానీ ఇవన్నీ కేవలము స్థూల సూక్ష్మ శరీరాలు, ప్రాణాలు, వీటికి సంబంధించినటువంటివే కానీ ఆత్మస్వరూపానికి సంబంధించినటువంటివి కాదు. ఆత్మస్వరూపం అన్నటువంటిది వీటన్నింటికంటే వేరై ఉన్నటువంటిది, వీటన్నింటినీ కూడా వెలిగింపచేసేటువంటిది. ఆత్మస్వరూపం లేకుండా ఇవేవి పని చెయ్యవు. అలా అనేసి ఇవి చేసే పనులన్నీ కూడా ఆత్మలోనే ఉన్నాయా అంటే కాదు. కళ్ళు సరిగా చూడడం లేదంటే ఆత్మ గుడ్డిదవుతుందా అంటే, అందంగా ఉంటుందా, అంధకారంలో ఉండిపోతుందా అంటే కాదని చెప్పాలి. మనకి వినడానికి చెవులు సరిగా పని చేయడం లేదంటే ఆత్మకి వినపడదా అంటే అది సరి అయినటువంటిది కాదు. లేదా బాగా మాట్లాడగలుగుతున్నాం, బాగా చూడగలుగుతున్నాం అంటే ఈ గుణాలన్నీ అందులో ఆత్మలో ఉన్నాయా, ఆత్మ బాగా చూస్తోంది, ఆత్మ బాగా మాట్లాడుతుంది అంటే అది కూడా సరి అయినటువంటిది కాదు. గుణము కానీ దోషము కానీ ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఈ ఇంద్రియాలకి వీటికి సంబంధించినటువంటివే కానీ మన బుద్ధుల్లో ఉండేటువంటివే కానీ, మనస్సు బుద్ధి వీటిల్లో ఉండేటువంటివి కానీ ఆత్మస్వరూపానికి ఏ విధమైనటువంటి సంబంధము లేదు అని చెప్పున్నారు. ఇందులో ఇంకా వివరంగా చెప్పున్నారు. ప్రాణం యొక్క ధర్మాలు ఏంటి, ఆకలి, దాహం అన్నటువంటి ప్రాణం యొక్క ముఖ్య ధర్మాలు, ఈ ప్రాణాలు చేసేటువంటి పనులు ఏంటి అన్నటువంటిది కూడా ప్రాణాపాన వ్యాన ఉదాన సమాన, ఈ వాయువులన్నీ కూడా ఏ ఏ పనులు చేస్తాయి అన్నటువంటిది కూడా, గాలి పీల్చడము, గాలి వదలడము, ఆవలించడము, తుమ్ములు రావటము, శరీరంలో ఉండేటువంటి మాలిన్యములు కళ్ళ ద్వారా, చెవులతో, ఇవన్నీ కూడా బయటకు, ఇదన్నీ కూడా ప్రాణాల యొక్క క్రియలుగా చెప్పున్నారు. అయితే ఈ ప్రాణాలకు సంబంధించినటువంటి క్రియలు కానీ ధర్మాలు కానీ ఆత్మకి వర్తించవు. ఆకలి ఎవరికి వేస్తుంది, నాకు చాలా ఆకలిగా ఉంది అనేసి ఎవరన్నా అంటూ ఉంటే, ఆకలిగా ఉంది అన్నటువంటిది ఆత్మకు కాదు. ఆత్మకి ఆకలేయడం, ఆత్మకి కడుపు ఇలాంటివి ఏమి ఉండవు. ఇవన్నీ కూడా కేవలము శరీర ప్రాణధర్మాలుగా చెప్పబడింది. ఇందాక చివరిలో మనం చెప్పుకున్నటువంటి అంశము, ఈ అంతఃకరణం అన్నటువంటిది ఆత్మస్వరూపము యొక్క ప్రతిబింబం. అందులో పడ్డం వల్ల ఆత్మ యొక్క శక్తి అందులో ప్రతిబింబింప చేయటం వల్ల దాని ద్వారా ఈ అంతఃకరణం అన్నటువంటిది ఇంద్రియాలన్నీ పనిచేసేలాగా చేస్తుంది. మనం ఎలా చూడగలుగుతున్నాం, ఎలా వినగలుగుతున్నాం అంటే ఈ చూడడం కానీ, వినడం కానీ, మాట్లాడడం కానీ, ఇంద్రియాలన్నీ ఇలా పనిచేస్తున్నాయి అంటే వీటి వెనకాల మనస్సు అన్నటువంటిది పనిచేయడం జరుగుతుంది. ఒక్కొక్కసారి మనం వేరే ఆలోచనలో ఉండిపోయినప్పుడు ఎవరైనా మాట్లాడినా, మనల్ని పలకరించినా మనం ఆ సమయంలో ఆ రెస్పాన్స్ అనేటువంటిది లేకపోతే, ఏంటో చూస్తూనే ఉన్నావు మళ్ళీ పలకనే లేదు మరి అనేసి అంటే, అరే నేను గమనించలేదంటే ఏంటి, కళ్ళేమో అలాగే తెరిచి ఉన్నాము కానీ వెనకాల అంతఃకరణం మనసు అన్నటువంటిది పనిచేయడం లేదనమాట. సో ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి ఈ ఇంద్రియ శక్తులన్నీ పనిచేయడానికి వెనకాల అంతఃకరణం అన్నటువంటిది ఉంది. ఆ అంతఃకరణానికి శక్తిని ఇచ్చేటువంటిది ఎవరు అంటే ఆత్మస్వరూపం. అలా అని అంతఃకరణంలో కలిగేటువంటి అలజడులు కానీ, లేకపోతే అంతఃకరణం క్వైట్ గా ఉండడం కానీ, ఇవన్నీ ఆత్మకు వర్తిస్తాయా అంటే లేదు. రేపటి రోజు నేను కొంచెం వివరంగా చెప్పుకుందాము. ఇందాక మనం చెప్పుకున్నటువంటి ఉదాహరణలో ఆత్మ అన్నటువంటిది పోల్చినప్పుడు సూర్యునితో పోల్చి ఉన్నాము. మన శరీరాలు అన్నటువంటివి బకెట్ల లాంటివి అయినట్లయితే, మన అంతఃకరణం అందులో ఉన్న నీరు అయినట్లయితే, ఏ విధంగా అయితే సూర్యుని యొక్క కాంతి నీళ్ళల్లో పడినప్పుడు అక్కడ ఒక ప్రతిబింబం అన్నటువంటిది ఏర్పడుతుందో, అదే విధంగా ఆత్మ యొక్క ఆ తేజస్ అన్నటువంటిది, ఆత్మశక్తి అన్నటువంటిది అంతఃకరణంలో ప్రతిబింబించడం, అంతఃకరణం మీద పడడం వల్ల అక్కడ ఆ అంతఃకరణంలో ఆత్మ యొక్క ప్రతిబింబం అన్నటువంటిది ఏర్పడడం జరుగుతుంది. దట్ రిఫ్లెక్షన్ అన్నమాట. అయితే ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే మన సిద్ధాంతంలో ఆ అంతఃకరణంలో ఆత్మ అన్నటువంటిది ప్రతిబింబింపబడినప్పుడు అది ఆ అంతఃకరణంతో శరీరంతో తాదాత్మ్యత చెందటం వల్ల జీవభావం అన్నటువంటిది ఏర్పడుతుంది అనమాట. దాన్ని అహంకారము, అహం నేను అని చెప్పడం జరుగుతుంది అనమాట. రేపటి రోజున ఈ అంశానికి సంబంధించి ఇంకా వివరంగా చెప్పుకుందాం. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. హరి ఓం. శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం.